I'm Salwa Booth. I chair the Staffordshire Adults Autistic Society. The Staffordshire Adults Autistic Society, or SAS, is a peer support organization by autistics for autistics. The only thing we claim is that we are all autistic, so we advocate expertise by experience as a main support for people on the autistic spectrum or neurodivergent people. In the last 3 years, SAS has changed direction from a campaigning instrument, which is what the founder aimed it for, to a service sort of organization. Since then, we have had on the books about 400 people who join, either self-diagnosed people, because that's one thing we need to talk about, or people who are about to be diagnosed, or people who have already been diagnosed. We fit in so many categories. We have young males who form a considerable number of people, but also elderly women who were diagnosed more recently in life. And the kind of help we provide is very simple, very easy, because when you are on the autistic spectrum yourself, you know what we say or what people say is, we get it. I have felt like most autistics will tell you, I'm different, I stood out, I'm the odd one out, I'm a stranger, I'm an alien, I'm alone and lonely and all that. I like my own company, I like my own music, I prefer to stay in rather than go out. It's not a stereotype, but it is how you find the world overwhelming, so you sort of shy away and close your door behind you. I fell in love and married somebody who's even quirkier than I am. I didn't understand that before, but and we have 2 children who are as quirky as their parents. I met with autism as a label 4 years ago when Kevin Healy, the founder of SAS, moved his headquarters to the Guildhall in Newcastle, and I suddenly struck a sort of, I understood where he came from, and I felt, there was something clicked. I don't know what it is. I felt I belonged there, and people who met me said, "Oh, have you ever thought of having a diagnosis yourself?" I was in my mid-50s, and do I really want to do that? But seeing I was in this position, I wanted proof. What if I am not autistic? I started reading avidly about it. It became my special interest subject. I found I related to a lot of what was being said in these books, and I had found out about how to ask for an assessment. Much to my surprise, when I went to my GP and said, "Look, I think I'm this, and this," I must have put in a very good case, because they said, "Okay, here's a piece of paper. Give us reasons, and we'll look at them, and then we'll decide whether you are okay for an assessment." So I wrote about an A4 of why I think I'm autistic, and my GP practice said, "Okay, we'll pass you on for assessment. We'll recommend you for assessment." It certainly touches you. It triggers an emotional roller coaster because you are required to go back to your childhood and to review aspects of your behavior and aspects of your life, and you'll find more older women saying this. I go back and suddenly it twigs that, oh, this is why I behaved in that way, this is why I wish I knew about this before. And it varies from one person to the other. My experience is by comparison a very easy one. Other people will know the hard way when you will hear about masking. Many women would have masked all their life, and suddenly something gives and the whole house of cards fall, and they find their way into diagnosis and autism via the mental health service, which shouldn't be the case. If you are not in need of support or an educational health plan or personal independence payment or any of these things, you're left in the lurch. It would be nice if, like any other need in society, with a very few tweaks, life would be a hell of a lot more comfortable to people on the autistic spectrum. In places of work, I'd love to speak to every employer under the sun about this, so much so that I got into the business networking group in my locality, to talk to employers, to talk to business owners about how, with very few tweaks, the workplace would be wonderful. Because I am, as an autistic person, I give my whole to whatever I do. If I believe in it, I dedicate 100% of my time, my energy, my brain power to what I do. And I believe every member of the society, if the society gives them, accommodates them, they'll give back more than they take. Well, for a start, I found friends, I found my own tribe. I'm not as lonely as I used to be, mainly because of SAS. There's 400 of us scattered around the county who know each other and are part of this group. It changed me a lot, actually. I'm very, very conscious of who I am and what I am, and in my case it was very beneficial because I've learned a lot from my reading, from what I do, from supporting other people and hearing their experiences and all that. It changed massively. You don't have to have a diagnosis to admit, at least to yourself, that you're a neurodivergent, that you are different, and you celebrate your difference. You're not odd, you're not ill, you're different, and you should acknowledge that and live comfortably with it rather than unhappily. People should be comfortable in their own skin. People should be comfortable and content with their lives. And if Staffordshire County Council wants people to live their best life, then with a few tweaks, life can be a lot better. See, you get a diagnosis, you get a piece of paper, and you don't know what to do with yourself, and you don't know what it is. And if you're not in need of financial support or physical support or psychiatric support, you're left in the lurch.